Hello. Okay. Hi, YouTube friends. Um, so we are Tuesday today, and I just got back yesterday from a weekend at a friend bachelorette party. We ended up renting out a cottage out in Port Moody, and so very fun. And we left Thursday, so that's why I haven't been doing any videos on here since then, but I wanted to come on today and like continue this thing on YouTube here and see what happens. So yeah, so now I've had coffee and I am ready to go. It's almost 10 o'clock here. And what I actually want to talk about today is pivoting in our businesses. So if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a coach, um, this will be something that maybe you can relate to. Maybe there might be something in here that I might say that might spark some thoughts, some ideas for you. And so one thing I've noticed with my business is that whenever I launch something, whatever the outcome is, whether it's a successful launch, not so successful launch, whether I got signups or and like no signups, I then figure out what I want to do moving forward. And sometimes there is completely letting go of that idea I launched or pivoting. And today I decided to pivot. I decided to pivot like a few weeks ago, but kind of making it official today. And the reason why I want to talk to you about this is because sometimes when we launch, programs, master classes, masterminds, whatever it is. And if we don't get any signups or a smaller sign up than we were expecting and we wanted more people, like especially if it's like a workshop series, which is the one I'm doing, and having a goal about it, sometimes like it lets us down when it doesn't go the way we would want it to go, right? Like it won't go the way we were expecting. We didn't get the signups we were expecting. And it's very easy to get into our heads and beat ourselves up. Like, been there, done that. I think like the amount of time I've launched something, the amount of launches that didn't work out. And in the beginning, I remember when I first launched, I would first launch certain programs, I would launch them, and then like there'll be no interest, like no interest whatsoever. And then I'll be like, fuck this, I'm not doing this. And that's how I approached it. And then I started shifting my mindset around and one, because what ended up happening is that the minute I would launch something, do all the graphics, post it on social media, then I'd be like, oh, why didn't anybody, like I would want somebody to sign up right away. But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes you have to like talk about it a little more. And then I would do that as well, but then not get any signups. And then I would scrap the project completely. I'd be like, nope, I'm not doing it. Screw this. I'm not doing this program. I'm not doing this workshop. I'm not doing this masterclass. And it was just like my ego, right? My ego feeling like I got rejected, feeling that nobody's interested in what I'm selling or what I am doing. And so it was just easier to just scrap it completely. But now I've come to a place of a different perception in terms of like there are going to be launches that I'm going to have that may not go the way I want them to, or may not have the amount of people that I want there to be. There'll be some that would have exactly who I want to be there. And I've had successful launches as well. Not saying that every launch I've had wasn't a success. I remember when I did the pilot for my money program, and that was like 4 months commitment. I ended up having 5 people signing up, and that was like pretty amazing because I was like not expecting that. And so there has been successful, but now I'm starting to look at the launches differently. So every time I have an idea of something I want to launch, and let's say there are no signups, I decide, what do I want to do with it? Do I want to continue talking about it? Is it something that I still want to do that lights me up? I think that is one of the most important things. Like, it still light me up? Is it something that's exciting, or did I create this program because every other coach does this program, or because I'm comparing myself to everybody else, because this is what everybody else is doing, so I should be doing it? Is it coming from that place of should? Is it coming because, did I create this program because it was like the logical thing to do and there was nothing in my business, and I created it because I felt like I should be doing something rather than nothing, and it again didn't come from the right energetic space. So really checking in as to why I created the program, the workshop, the masterclass, and really diving into that first, if it was unsuccessful, and what was the reason. Because sometimes we're like, "Ooh, that's a shiny object," but maybe it's not something we are meant to do, or we do something because we see everybody else doing it, or we do it because we feel like we should be doing something rather than nothing. But there is going to be times in the business where the creativity is going to be on a lull, and that's normal. We are not meant to be like always go go go, like pumping out, like workshops and programs left, right, and center, and being like, here's my new thing, and then here's my other new thing, and then here's this, and here's that. You're like, la, la, la. Like, it's a little chaotic. But sometimes, like, we think that that's what we need to be doing because we have that mentality of like, oh, we need to work hard to make money, or how else is money going to come into my business if I'm not doing anything? But this is where balancing the being and the doing is important. Of like, there'll be times where you'll just be in your business and you're not necessarily like go 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 do do do. So that's the first thing I check in on myself is, what was the reason why I did this, and is it still in alignment, or like why? What's the why? Then after that, I decide. So if it's something that I'm still excited to do, then this is where I decide to shift. So I'm like, how can I pivot this? How can I change this up? And so I came up with this workshop series, which is going to be one workshop per month. And my goal was for it to be on a Zoom call because I wanted to play out. I had these ideas of how these workshops will be mapped out, what I wanted to talk about, what I wanted to do. And I had these ideas of like how I wanted to do it. And so I only had one person sign up, completely like blank. And because the goal was, I wanted it to be a workshop setting where we're sharing and there's interaction. That was the goal of it. There was going to be interaction, like people sharing, people talking. I was going to be leading a guided meditation, pulling cards, and it was basically like almost like you're having like that one-to-one connection with me, but in a group setting. And so when one person's signing up and nothing else is like kind of coming out of it, I was like, okay, it's time to pivot this. And I have spoken about it on my social media, like Instagram, and there was no grab, and that's okay. So I decided to pivot, and I'm just going to be offering them as digital downloads. And the reason why I thought of that is because I've always had the goal that I want. One of my biggest goals is I want to make money while I sleep. I want there to be a section on my website that people go on. They're like, okay, here are ways, like there are going to be more affordable options of ways to basically get to know how to work with me. And you download it, and whether it is an audio recording or a video recording, and then I offer what I offer. So a way to calibrate into my energy and try me out before you want to commit to a one-to-one, for example, because that will be like that is my highest price point right now. And then obviously I'm thinking of offering some free digital downloads as well. So there's going to be a blend of like the paid and the free, and then you get to choose. You get to choose which one resonates. You could try the free at first, and then you can like, if you love the free, then you can like purchase the pay that you feel are right for you. And so that's what I decided. I decided to pivot it more of a digital download because sometimes we need to look at the bird's eye view and the long-term goal. And that long-term goal for me is making money while I sleep. So yeah, and people are not, I have 2 digital downloads already available from the 2 previous workshops. There's 4 more to go. I'm going to be recording the next one next week, which is on forgiveness. And the 2 that are available is inner child healing workshop and the money workshop. So intro to money work. So I have those 2 available right now. Yet no, there hasn't been any sales, but that's okay because at the end of the day, this is me building the foundations, and that's my intention. That's my goal. Is I build these foundations so that down the road, this is all set and ready to go. It's already on my website. I'm creating it. I'm creating the space to bring in the abundance, bring in the clients, and have that accessibility, right? And so sometimes it's just like, sometimes all you need to do is the tiniest steps to build these, like to build that foundation for it to be sturdy. And then things are going to roll in. And so that is how I decided to pivot, is like to kind of look at like, what is my bigger goal? What is my bigger picture? Like zooming out. So in your case, if you are watching this and you launched a masterclass or a program and it didn't work out, step 1, check and see if it's still in alignment and why did you launch it, and are you still excited about it or not? Step 2, if you are excited about it and this is something that you are passionate about doing, how can you pivot? What is your end goal? What is the bigger goal? What is the bigger goal of your business? Like, what do you want your business to be? And then how can you pivot it that way? Can it be a digital download? Can part of it be changed to like a PDF, for example, that you can offer it at a lower price? How can you shift it? And just because we launch something one way, it doesn't mean it needs to stay that way. It doesn't mean it needs to just like, it needs to be that way or nothing. You can shift it. You can pivot. Or maybe you can look at different marketing and sales techniques on how to sell it. Maybe that is one way to do it. Or maybe you can hire a coach to help you with it on how you can like skyrocket those sales to what you want. There are many ways that you can pivot and many ways that you can go about it. And there's not just one way. And just because you launched it one way doesn't mean you're not allowed to change it. Your audience won't be there. Like, your audience is not sitting there analyzing you saying, oh, like, gosh, she's changed it. Oh, well, that must mean that nobody bought. Like, nobody's thinking that. That is just you thinking that. People are just on social media scrolling, and then they see that one thing that catches their eye and they're like, "Oh, cool. Like, maybe I'll check that out." Or they have been following you for some time, and they're just like, they love your content and they see that you sold something or you launched something, and then you change it and they're like, "Oh, cool. Like, they just changed it. That's it." It's There's no story like being created. So paying attention to the story, that if you are hesitant to pivot, if you are hesitant to change, if you are hesitant also to letting go of a program or a workshop because it wasn't in alignment with you, check in and see what is the hesitation, and what stories are you creating, and what perceptions are you putting onto your audience versus what is really happening. Because if you're creating all these stories and you're assuming that everybody's thinking this way, but really nobody's thinking that way. Or are you beating yourself up because the launch didn't go the way you wanted to? So are you being hard on yourself? So what stories are you telling yourself around this? And then how can you shift those stories? How can you shift the way you speak to yourself? Like, just because nobody bought doesn't mean nobody's paying attention, doesn't mean that you're unworthy. It doesn't mean that you're not good at what you do. It doesn't mean any of that. It was just, this was not a launch that worked out. And this is the thing about running a business, is that it is the trial and error. It is like trying things out, putting yourself out there and seeing, does it work, does it not work? Like, I mean, the amount of times I've tried and it didn't work. And I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this, who are entrepreneurs, are definitely feeling the same thing. Like, I've gone on TikTok, didn't land with me. I've done Twitter, didn't land with me. Instagram, that one I built for the longest, not the greatest. So here I am on YouTube trying this out. And then maybe I'll see, like, maybe I'll convert these onto Spotify. Maybe I'll be on Apple Podcasts down the road. I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing with this. But it is a matter of pivoting and trying things out. So, now pivoting with that workshop, making it into a digital download, because I'm focusing on the end goal, because I'm focusing on the overall picture, the bird's eye view. So, like, how can you zoom out? What is your goal for your business? What is your goal for this program? Like, what do you want from it? And how can you zoom out and look at the bigger picture and be like, okay, this is the bigger picture. And how can you set those foundations to support that bigger picture? So, big ramble right there. If you love this live, please like, share, comment. I appreciate all your support. I love that I have 20 subscribers on here. I can't wait to see like what comes out of this, whether there's going to be wherever it goes. Like, to be honest, I don't know where it's going to go. And if you would like to purchase the 2 workshops I already have available, they're $33 each. They are digital downloads. So right now, just the way I'm doing it with the Squarespace website is they come in a zip file, but everything is in that file. So all you got to do is unzip it, and you should have the audio recording. Audio recording of the main workshop, and then there'll be like pick a pile tarot card reading. So you pick which one you want to listen to. Well, there'll also be images as well. So I'll include that in the link. I am not working on putting up more digital downloads right now, but I am having trouble with the uploads. But those 2 are available. So the Inner Child Healing Workshop and the Money Workshop. So this is a good time if you want to just like tap into that. It's available for all levels. So if you've done inner child healing before, or if you've done money work before, it doesn't mean that this is not for you, because I do lead with a guided meditation, and this guided meditation access to your subconscious. So this is where you can go kind of go deeper into some of the topics. So maybe you've tapped into certain aspects of inner child healing or certain aspects of money work, and maybe this will spark up other aspects. I mean, I'm constantly doing inner child healing work, and I'm constantly doing money work. Like, it doesn't stop, and I'll continue going back to the same meditations I'm using, same journal prompts, same books, because every time I go back to it, I get something different. So no matter what level you are at, those 2, all of my workshops are going to be available for all levels. The next one that I'll be recording is next week, will be the forgiveness one. So I will let you know when that one is available for purchase. But yeah, right now, $33 each. I did have a promo. If you buy all 6, will be like $129. So if you are interested in getting all 6, like either write in the comments or send me a DM on Instagram, which is Julie's Unknown. And then I can set you up with that. My goal is at the end of this, like, if I can find a way to do it with Squarespace, that if people buy all 6, like a promo, if people buy all 6, I'm going to try and figure it out with Squarespace. I haven't figured that out yet. Learning as I go. And so that's available. And that's it. That's it for me today. I will speak to you all next time I go live, which could be tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. Could be tomorrow. I am planning, I might be going to a spiritual fair this week. So that should be interesting. I'll keep you posted. I'm waiting to see if it's something intuitively I want to do or not. Okay, I'm complete. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.